Hello, and thank you for watching this ag forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, we're checking out the satellite picture first thing on Monday morning. We've got a big cyclone, a very visually pleasing cyclone to this meteorologist, making its way through central and southern Manitoba this morning, onward into Ontario. As we head into the afternoon, you can see the big classic comma shape, the front extending all the way down into parts of the central plains of the U.S. We've got warmer temperatures in advance of that cyclone right now in the mid to upper teens across Manitoba into Ontario. Cooler temperatures in the single digits making their way in on the back side. The radar here, we've got some light precipitation across southern portions of Manitoba, some showers possible in the Winnipeg area, some raindrops possible in the Grand Prairie area just off to the south and east of there as we head through the morning hours as well. We've got an interesting jet stream setup here across North America and across the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, where we've got screaming jet stream flow coming across the Pacific. We've also got screaming jet stream flow departing across the Atlantic. In between that, we're just kind of bunched up here. We've got these little upper level waves making their way across the region. Here's the system right now that's so well defined as we looked at the satellite picture doing something like that. As we head into the mid part of the week, we're going to watch this really strong current of air, this really strong wave in the jet stream make its way into the Gulf of Alaska, deepening into a pretty well-defined trough, a pretty well-defined area of low pressure. Probably when I give the Wednesday morning Canadian Prairie video forecast, I bet you I'll be getting excited about a big spiral growing out here across the Pacific, moving into Western Canada. You can mark my words on that one. But in between then, we've just got this disjointed flow. We've got a couple little short waves embedded within it. I can circle one here, making its way across southern portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Another little wave just north of that even. So it's this kind of disorganized, bunched up flow that's going to keep us a little bit unsettled. We will be a little on the warmer side here, broadly speaking, with ridging, kind of a really subtle ridge that's going to allow the central U.S. to start to warm up. But with the kind of wiggly, disorganized flow, we're going to keep cloud cover off and on in the forecast. We're going to keep little waves in the forecast, little areas of low pressure tracking across the region that are going to bring temperature fluctuations to the region until we get to the end of the week and this big wave finally starts to make its way ashore. We get a more organized precipitation chance as we get into the weekend. So I'm going to play an animation of our temperature anomaly forecast as we head through the week. And as you just kind of focus in on the prairie, nothing really alarming jumps out to you. You see a lot of warmth there, an extended period of that orange shading. So more time with warmer temperatures than cooler temperatures as far as, departure from average. But generally, you're not seeing any extreme heat. You're not seeing any extreme cold with this. It's pretty close to average with a little bit of fluctuation in there. But what I want to emphasize is that fluctuation where temperatures in general are going to be hovering pretty close to average, but we're going to be seeing day-to-day variability here, at times pretty extreme, with some of these little subtle waves making their way through. They won't bring much in the way of precipitation, but could bring these day-to-day temperature fluctuations. So as we get into tomorrow, on the backside of this system, Manitoba, you're going to find yourselves about 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than you were 24 hours prior, which will be right now. So this map is showing 24-hour temperature change. So as we get into tomorrow, portions of Saskatchewan, southern Alberta, you should be on a warming trend. As I take this into Tuesday, we're going to see temperatures again warming again in the east, cooling in the west. And then as we head into Wednesday afternoon, Manitoba and southeastern Saskatchewan, you're going to be quite a bit cooler on Wednesday than you were on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Alberta, you'll be warming back up. And then we just continue to kind of do this, where here as we get into Thursday afternoon, Manitoba into southern Saskatchewan, you'll be about 10 degrees warmer than you were 24 hours ago. So this is a really complicated map that I'm not trying to get you to memorize by any count, but I want to show you kind of the day-to-day temperature variance here. Could be quite the roller coaster ride, which again is something we've been dealing with over the last week or so across the Canadian Prairie. Now within that, we're looking at 500 millibar vorticity. This is where we can see the shaded areas show us areas of spin within the atmosphere. This can help us diagnose areas of unsettled weather, cloud cover, and precipitation. What I want to show you again is, we've got a couple really well-defined systems. Here's a hurricane down here. This is Hurricane Teddy that's making its way through the Atlantic. Really compact circulation there. Here's the system making its way through southern Manitoba today. As we just take it into the middle part of the week, again, you'll see this kind of just disorganized flow making its way across the prairie. Little ribbons of vorticity making their way through. Again, each one of these could have a little compact area of low pressure associated with it, bringing slight temperature fluctuations. And then here's the big one that makes its way in here as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, bringing more in the way of organized precipitation to the region. Now, with the unsettled pattern across the prairie, the reason we're not seeing more in the way of organized widespread precipitation is, again, we're bringing some moisture in from the Pacific with each of these waves. We're also bringing in a lot of dry air from the Arctic, and what we're not doing, we've got a lid on the Gulf of Mexico down here, where we've got a tropical system down in the Gulf. That is Tropical Storm Beta that's churning around off the coast of Texas. Will be making its way into the southern U.S. later this week. So if we want to get real widespread, organized, significant precipitation across the Canadian prairie, we need that feed from the Gulf of Mexico. We need to be drawing that additional moisture northward from the Gulf. We don't have that as we head through the next 7 days. So we've got an unsettled pattern. We've got disturbances moving through the region. We've got marginal moisture from the Pacific. We don't have real deep moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So we're going to keep cloud cover. This is one of those forecasts where I say it's going to look like it's about to rain a lot of the time, where we've got disturbances moving through, but we don't quite have the deep moisture for a real heavy downpour. So some showers departing Manitoba as we head through the day today. Probably going to look at a quiet evening across most areas. Quiet as far as precipitation goes. Maybe some showers in central Alberta as we head through the overnight into Tuesday morning. As we head through Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night, another little disturbance tracks along the southern border with the U.S. This is where we could get some light showers just along the southern border, but probably not anything real measurable coming from that. We'll head through Wednesday. We see another wave ejecting here Wednesday into Wednesday night. Same thing, cloud cover, some light precipitation possible with this. I'm kind of fluctuating back and forth through Wednesday night into Thursday morning here. Take it all the way into mid-afternoon Thursday, where we've got cloud cover across the prairie. We've got some spotty light precipitation. A lot of areas where, again, the sky probably looks like it's about to rain, but maybe you don't get anything out of that. Total precipitation from the NAM, the North American model here, keeps it pretty dry across Alberta and the western half of Saskatchewan. It drops some scattered amounts here, relatively light, again, in most areas across eastern Saskatchewan, getting into central and southern Manitoba. If I take it a bit further, here's our big storm system here, big 996 millibar low across central Manitoba as we get started on Monday morning, and some light precipitation associated with that. We'll take it into Monday night, now Tuesday morning. This is now Tuesday evening. Tuesday should be pretty quiet as far as precipitation goes. As we head into Tuesday night and Wednesday, here's that system off to the south. Some light precipitation possible across the southern portions of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, maybe lingering into Wednesday afternoon and evening across Manitoba. And then we'll take that drawing off. Quiet then Wednesday night into here's Thursday morning. Now we're starting to get a bunch of rainfall across British Columbia. We're wringing a lot of that Pacific moisture out here along the higher elevations, where we get upslope flow across western British Columbia. So again, without that deep feed from the Gulf of Mexico, we're not bringing quite as much moisture into the prairie. So Thursday, this big first wave starts to eject. It does it relatively dry with a lot of the precipitation north of Highway 16. It's possible as we head into the weekend we could bring more moisture in, but again, a really active pattern. We're going to be unsettled. We're going to see temperature fluctuations, but again, we're lacking some of the deeper moisture for a few different reasons. Those reasons I just kind of drew on the previous map there, to where we're going to see a lot of cloud cover, a lot of days where we've got at least a chance for some rain. But overall, precipitation going to be pretty light. I'm showing you the next 7 days from the European model now, so taking it all the way through September 27th. And again, much of the ag belt here in Alberta remaining dry, if not just getting a few millimeters here to wet the pavement, wet the crops. Also across, I would say, we'll call it central into, southeastern Saskatchewan. This is the region where maybe more folks picking up, maybe a half an inch, 12.5 millimeters of precipitation. That's probably going to be the high end. Again, if I think there's going to be a high end to the precipitation, it's right in this little corridor here, kind of along the border of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. This is the probability from the ensemble here, the European ensemble, of picking up 12.5 millimeters of precipitation, or half an inch. Again, all the way through Saturday night. And, kind of in this area, you can pick up maybe a 40 to 50% chance. But The odds are stacked against just about everyone here picking up real measurable precipitation in that 12.5-inch precipitation or 12.5-inch, weekly total range. So I feel like I'm spending a lot of word energy on trying to describe this pattern where it's unsettled, a lot of cloud cover, a lot of days with a chance of rain, a lot of days where the sky will look like it's about to rain, but most folks not picking up a soaking rain here over the next 6 days. As we look at the temperatures, here's the variance there. 21 for the high today in Calgary, 17 tomorrow, 21 again on Wednesday, 19 on Thursday. Edmonton, you're in the upper teens today and tomorrow, 21 on Wednesday. Saskatoon, 22 today, 19, 20 degrees Tuesday and Wednesday, 24 on Thursday. Regina, very similar, low 20s for the next few days, a high of 26. Your warmest day is on Thursday. Winnipeg, here's that variance as well. 22 today, 27 on Tuesday, 18 on Wednesday, back up to 22 and 23 on Thursday and Friday. So again, neither of these days really that far off from average, but day-to-day variance is high at times. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and a great start to your week. I'll talk to you again on Wednesday morning.